It's December 7th, 2020, and it's time for Channing and Friends. Parties still planned. The White House has a busy schedule over the next few weeks as it hosts holiday gatherings despite the pandemic. Is it setting a good example for the rest of the country? Then, doing his best, why some people are defending California Governor Gavin Newsom and others aren't. And handmade jewelry for you or someone you love. Our friend Michelle Campbell is here. So, let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Channing and Friends, everyone. Happy Monday. Today is December 7th, and we've got a great show for you today. Hi, Michael and Spence. Hope you guys are doing well today.
It's December, and I'm looking forward to the new year. We're almost there.
Agreed.
Me as well.
Yeah. Hey, but I did the majority of my Christmas shopping yesterday, so I feel like I can breathe a little bit, which is good. But yeah, I mean, 2020 needs to get out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this year. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to start with what is new and noteworthy. And the White House is in the headlines today. So we saw last week that there was some sort of holiday party going on at the White House. That's when President Trump alluded to possibly running for president again in 2024. That's another story. We're not going to talk about that. But we are going to talk about the fact that we're learning that 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is planning to host as many as 20 indoor holiday parties this season, even as its own coronavirus task force warns states that the pandemic is, quote, in a very dangerous place, and top health officials have cautioned against indoor celebrations. So pictures from last week's party show several attendees not wearing masks. Now, as you can imagine, there are concerns that gatherings could set a bad example for Americans as we head into the holiday season, but the White House seems to shrug it off. So what do you guys think? Is this a good example for America? I can't believe I'm asking this question. When we're still in a pandemic. Michael, we're going to start with you.
I feel like that's it. Just put that in there, a sigh. That's like, it sums up my feelings. I just don't think they care at this point. Like, all the COVID is like circulated around the White House, and I feel like maybe their thought process is like, oh, we've had it, so we can't catch it again, or maybe we have the antibodies, or we have enough money to afford the best healthcare out there under the president. So I just don't think they care what kind of example they're setting. They know their time is up. They know the president will be not the president in January. So I just think they don't give a bleep, they don't care. Obviously, this isn't a good example for America, but I'm not surprised because the president has never made a statement condemning doing things like this during this time. I don't even think he said COVID in a way that's not controversial. So not surprised, but very disappointed per usual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to answer your question, Channing, no, not a good idea, obviously. Yeah. I guess all of the above. Bad example for Americans, irresponsible, bad idea in general, and all the list goes on and on of why this is a terrible idea. They've never cared about COVID-19. I don't expect them to start caring now. I feel like it's terrible that every time a story about Donald Trump comes out and it's like bad, my initial reaction is like, well, did we expect any different?
Same.
Yes.
Yep, sounds right. Which is just terrible, but that is the world we live in right now, unfortunately. So, no, bad idea. Don't do that.
It's a terrible idea, and we're still, apparently, according to Dr. Fauci, we're still waiting to see the surge from Thanksgiving. So can you imagine what the surge, we're talking about how we want, I just said it, I want 2020 to get out of here. But if we're going to continue to have this behavior, 2021 isn't going to start off great. It could be worse than we are right now. And so it's so disheartening to me knowing that the literal head of this entire country is having and sponsoring all of these holiday parties where we're not supposed to be having that right now. And people aren't wearing masks there. You know, it would be one thing if it was a party, but people were socially distant and they had their masks on, but they don't. And I get it, like the decorations are pretty, you know, it looks great in there. The thought of a party, the thought of gathering right now is definitely something that I think everyone would want to raise our spirits during this time, but like, we just can't do it. We can't do it. And so this makes me really worried for what January, the entire month of January, is going to look like now. I'm very, very, very nervous. So, okay, you guys. Well, we're going to move on. We're still kind of in this whole topic of politics for today. But we're going to switch gears to California. And I guess this could also mean other leaders, state leaders, and city leaders, if you will. But this morning I saw this tweet, or over the weekend I saw this tweet, you guys, from someone who was talking about Governor Newsom. And let me just read you the tweet that she said. She said, unpopular opinion, Gavin Newsom is doing the best he can. He got this job pre-pandemic and is making the best decisions based on what our state needs. Sorry if this pandemic doesn't align with your plans. And I thought it would be a really good topic to talk about on the show today because, I mean, I think I'm just going to leave it there. And Spence, we'll start with you. I mean, do you really think that Governor Newsom of California has been doing the best that he can? We know that he was caught at California's most expensive and luxurious restaurants. I believe it was called the French Laundry a couple weeks ago, at a dinner party. And that directly contradicted what he was telling all of California, which was to stay home, shelter in place, because the cases are rising. So, Spence, I want to hear from you first. What do you have to say about this? Do you think that Governor Newsom really has been doing the best that he can?
I will preface my thoughts with a little disclaimer. Registered Democrat, voted for Joe Biden. Identify as a progressive, but I'm part of the Democratic Party. So before I get into this,
yes,
I am a good guy. I'm on the good side of this, I promise. At least in my opinion. No, not really. I think obviously the credit to whoever tweeted that there is a certain amount of slack. This is a super unprecedented time. There's a lot of moving parts, and I don't know if anyone could be doing a great job right now because it's just so radically different. However, There are some glaring problems. Obviously, like you said at the end of your introduction, Channing, he's violating his own rules, and that is pretty much just entirely unacceptable. There's really no excuse, and I saw an apology he issued, and he said we were outside, and then there are photos of them not being outside. Exactly. So he's just completely lying, which, as terrible as it sounds, he's an American politician. Majority of them lie. Just out bold-faced, just lie. Yeah. Which is not a good thing, and I'm not excusing that, but it's kind of like it is disappointing because in the beginning it seemed like he was kind of a leader on this topic, and he was really going to push and try and help us. And now it kind of feels like a lot of it's political theater. It's kind of him just saying things that he knows that his base wants to hear, and then not really practicing them himself. I don't know. I'm still would vote for him in a re-election because the counterpart, I'm sure, would be entirely worse. But no, there are problems, and I don't think that just because he has a D next to his name, he should be exempt from criticism. But that's just my opinion.
Thank you. I agree with that completely.
I also probably would vote for him in a re-election. I don't want someone with an R next to their name running anything, frankly. So here's the thing. It's irresponsible, I don't think he's made the greatest of decisions. I think he's on the extreme side of I've done plenty of shopping, plenty of being out responsibly. Don't come for me. Without being at risk at all. I get tested quite often, but he is so extreme. That's one thing. But then to directly disobey your own rules at the most expensive restaurant in the state,
When so
in a
many
time
people
where people
are-
are struggling,
Yeah.
like going to food banks and like I mean, in LA, like you see on the news, like the food bank lines are just so long, and people are obviously hurting. A couple of people in my neighborhood have been evicted, and I thought that was something that could like never happen. Like I just wouldn't have expected that, and just to see so many people suffering, and he's like eating, I don't know, hors d'oeuvres at like French Laundry. It's just like, that's so irresponsible and unethical. But again, he's a politician, and it doesn't surprise me. It's just disappointing. Like, just everyone, like everyone that's in power this year has disappointed me in some way, shape, or form, and he's not exempt.
Yeah, and I think going back to what you said, Spence, like, yeah, it's a hard time for our leaders as well, But I think my thing is, when you sign up to be a leader, and this doesn't matter if it's, a small, you're leading at your church or a school or whatever. Doesn't matter. Like, if you're a leader, you're signing up to practice what you're preaching. And that's not what he's doing. And I personally believe that he has done a great job as a governor. He's been a great leader for the state of California. But however, we are, as the people, if you will, we are to hold our leaders accountable. This is holding him accountable. And I don't understand why people might think, kind of what you said, Spence, like, don't come and attack me. Like, I'm just calling him out for what he did. Doesn't mean that I don't like him. I'm just holding him accountable, which is what we should be doing. This is for every leader. We've been holding President Trump, or trying to, with the hardest we can, to hold him accountable. And I feel like we should do the same if the person's on the other side of the other side, on.
Can I also just say really quick?
Yeah.
There is no reason that he's that high profile and he did not confiscate phones at the door, or someone didn't have phones at the. I mean, listen, if you're gonna lie, be a good one. Like, if you're gonna like be doing these things as the governor of California, make sure there are no chances for you to show up in a tabloid the next day. Like, like, it's stupid. Like, come on. Like, I can't believe people were allowed to have their phones at that dinner party, especially after enforcing such strict rules. Like, that just surprises me. I'm not condoning that. Like, don't. But like, it's just surprising that like the footage even. I don't know.
Well, and the thing is, what were you going to say, Spence? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I didn't think much about the phones, but that's a good point. Kind of
like celebrities, like,
way.
Well,
like,
that's
supposed
here's
to
the
have
thing. That's what I would do. I mean, it's like, I don't know, like, it seems like sometimes when you look at criminals, like, it seems like sometimes criminals are the stupidest people on the planet, because it's sometimes in your mind you would think like, okay, if they're going to try to get away with this, they would like have a smarter plan. And so it's like, it's the same thing. Like,
well, that's common sense. Like, if I'm out somewhere and don't want people to know, not necessarily doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, but I'm not going to post. Like, you won't know what I'm doing. Like, he is a public figure. He needs to think about that more than the average person is. Like,
He is the governor of all of California, thinking that you're going to go to a restaurant and people aren't going to see, But again, there are so many other leaders that are doing this, having this same type of behavior as well. I don't know if you guys heard about the mayor of Austin, Texas. He filmed a video telling people of the city of Austin to stay home, but he was in Mexico when he was filming that video. Like,
no,
it's just practice what you preach. If you don't do that, then be prepared to get dragged.
Right.
Simple.
And that's
Simple
exactly
as that.
it. It's, you gotta, if you're gonna enforce these rules, which he should be doing, and I have no issue with any of Governor Newsom's rules thus far. And like you said, Channing, I do think he's been a good governor of California, but I also think there are some things that we should talk about. In general, you hold your leaders accountable. That's part of voting and being a democracy, is they serve you, you don't serve them.
I think we need to stop calling him governor, these governors governor, and start calling them public servants, because that's what they are. Like, that's their job description.
Right.
Like, if the power is the problem, like, take away the title and call them a public servant.
Agreed. Totally agreed. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for more of our show in the next block, so don't go away. Coming up next, handmade jewelry from our friend, Michelle Campbell. Welcome back, everyone. Well, Christmas is just around the corner, and who doesn't love a good old piece of jewelry as a gift?
That's right. So joining us right now with her amazing designs is the founder and creator of Shelly Belle Shop. Please welcome our good friend, Michelle Campbell.
Yay!
It is so good to see you. It's been 9 months since frolicking around on Laguna Beach. So like, how have you been doing? It feels like it's been 5 years.
Oh my gosh, it has been so long. I've been doing good. How have you guys been?
Definitely
hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
Ready for 2021.
Everyone's like, yep.
Existing.
Yeah. So not everyone would just randomly decide to create and sell handmade earrings. So tell us how you got started with this.
Well, it was kind of this, like not really having anything to do. I wanted to make my friends a gift, and so I got back into things like crocheting. I made them some crochet gifts, and then I was seeing a lot of jewelry making on like TikTok and stuff, and so I like all kind of crafting business, so I wanted to try doing that too. So I did, and I kind of stuck with it. I feel like I go through like a bunch of different crafting things, but this one stuck.
Yeah, I think like with all this extended time we've had off for so many people, like there is a sliver of good out of it, like because we've been able to like go back to the things that we've always loved to do, or like challenge ourselves with new hobbies and things like that. So that is so cool. And all of your designs literally look amazing. Like I was looking at your Instagram, the Instagram, and I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. And did you say that they're all made out of clay? Is that right?
Yeah, it's clay and then resin on top. That's what makes them like shiny.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. So what's your technique, like from start to finish? Do you start out with, like, do you sketch it on a piece of paper, like in a design idea, and then you go towards, getting your hands dirty with the clay? Like, what does that look like?
That would be a smarter way to do it, but I usually just go in. I roll out the clay, and then I sometimes we'll do like a freehand like cutout of it, but I do have a lot of like cookie cutters.
Okay.
And so my sweet boyfriend, he got a 3D printer so he could 3D print.
Oh, I've heard those things are like
nice.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like you can make pretty much anything you want with those, right?
Oh yeah, and people make jewelry with them too. Like they'll just make the earrings with the 3D printing stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think you could use something like that.
Yeah, he made we haven't made very many on the 3D printer, but he made the Mickey heads, and I've used those a couple times. So,
so
that
cute.
was nice. Yeah. But yeah, so after I do that, I cut them out, and then sometimes I'll do the details with clay, and sometimes I'll paint them. And then, so baking first, and then painting if I paint them, and then I'll do like a resin on top. And I have two different kinds of resin. One is more of like something that domes, and then there's another one that has to be put out in the sun, or use like a UV light on them to make it dry, but it's more like a flat thing rather than doming.
Okay, gotcha. And then by that point, it's like hard, and you can actually use it, right, as jewelry.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so cool. I feel like I'm back in like
cool.
elementary art school when we played with clay and stuff. Like, awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I used to do it with my mom. We would make magnets for the refrigerator for every holiday. We made it out of clay, and then we'd bake it, and then paint it, and then we had them for all the holidays.
Oh, I love that. So fun.
So we gotta know, with all of your designs, what is your favorite that you've made?
It's a recent one. I have it right here. I'll show you.
Oh.
It's this little house.
Oh,
That's so cute.
Oh my goodness.
It's a little pink holiday house. It's decorated like how my mom decorates her house. she has these little, she's got a lot of wreaths and red bows and like these things. And yeah, so it's modeled after her house.
Oh my goodness. I feel like you could also make like a mini, because from here, at first I thought it was like a gingerbread house. But
Yay!
that's so cute. I love it.
It was kind of meant to be like a little bit of a gingerbread house, but I went pink instead.
Hey, pink's a great color.
You can never
So
have too much pink.
Yeah.
exactly. Is that an earring, or is that like that is an earring? I can't, it looks. I feel like if I was in person to see it, but
The other one.
oh my gosh, I love that.
There it is.
A little hook goes on there. I don't have
Okay.
hooks on it.
So stylish. I love it.
Yes, I love it too. Okay, so how can someone buy those super adorable earrings?
On Etsy, I have a little Etsy account that I add them to. When they're all sold out, it's on vacation mode, so you can't really go there and like browse the designs. For that, I would go to like Instagram so you can see pictures of what the options are, and then every now and then I'll post that I'll be adding some more to the Etsy shop, and then they'll be up there.
So
Very
good. That is amazing. And so I have to ask you another question. Like, how long does it take for you to make one? Or, like, let's say you got an order, how long, what's the process look like for you?
I have been making them beforehand. I'll just make like maybe 10 of each design and then put them out there, because at first I was just making a few and then putting like a random number on the shop and then being like, yeah, I can make this many in that amount of time. And it was so overwhelming. I was like, I'm not gonna do that again. So now I just make them, and it takes probably took like a week to get. I think I made like 9 designs for Christmas, and I took about a week to make about 10 of each design.
Okay.
Oh,
That's good that it's like you have a little bit of an inventory, you make them beforehand. So that's good. I'm actually very interested because I'm still trying to figure out a Christmas gift for my mother, who hopefully isn't watching this right now. So,
Oh my God.
I make custom ones too, so she likes something. I'm working on some Miss Piggy earrings.
Miss Piggy,
Oh, I might.
Showstopper.
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
what if you had like a Miss Piggy on one ear and then you had Hermit the Frog on the other?
Yep, it's Miss Tessa Harden. She was thinking about
That
Kermit
makes sense.
and Miss Piggy, but then she said bye Kermit and just Miss Piggy.
Goodbye, Hermit. Well, Miss Piggy, she is a queen. She deserves to be on both ears.
Absolutely.
So true.
All right, well, that is Shelly Campbell, you guys. Make sure you go and follow Shelly Bell Shop on Instagram. It's at Shelly Bell Shop, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for being here and joining us today. You are amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. So much fun. I'm honored to be here.
And I hope you have a great Christmas holiday season, even though this year is not, it's different. But I hope you have a great Christmas, and I hope you get a lot of orders with Shelly Bell Shop. So awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you all as well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, you guys, coming up, did you ever think a Starbucks drink could tell you that you have COVID-19? We'll talk about it next.
Welcome back, everyone. To find out whether you contracted the coronavirus, you would get a test, right? Well, that's not exactly how one teen discovered she was positive for COVID-19. Take a look.
So we're just gonna try this. This has no flavor. Why can't I taste it? Do I have COVID? Hang on. I can't taste anything. Oh my god.
Okay, isn't this crazy, you guys? I should not be laughing, but okay. So she told BuzzFeed
It's not
News.
funny.
I know. It's just. I think the initial reaction that she had, I would be in the same boat. Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd also do this.
so she told BuzzFeed News that she was expecting the drink to be super sweet because it consisted of whipped cream, 5 pumps of vanilla syrup, and 3 pumps of caramel. But instead, she could only make out a creamy taste.
All right, well, she works 3 part-time jobs and says other than work and buying groceries, she's been staying home during the pandemic. And she had no noticeable symptoms other than noting that she woke up with some congestion, but thought it was probably due to the changing weather. But after that viral video, she did test positive.
Yeah, can we talk about that drink for 1 second? Not to take away
Can
from.
we talk about how that's diabetes in a cup?
That's
Like,
not coffee,
crazy.
sis. That's a milkshake. That's
Yeah,
not
that's-
coffee. What are you drinking? If you're starting your day with that, like I honestly feel bad for you, and my stomach kind of feels gross.
Yeah.
That is like the worst idea in the
8
morning.
pumps of like
Yeah.
combined.
I mean,
What
yeah.
is that?
I wouldn't go all the way that far, but I mean, I do enjoy a good caramel macchiato. But
Listen, I'm not hating on coffee drinks with sugar, but that is like crazy.
yeah,
town.
you're
No,
right. It
that's-
is a milkshake.
That crosses a line.
Hope she's fine, and
Yeah.
that is scary, obviously, and wishing her the best in her recovery and all that. But your drink is whack.
Wishing you the
Your
best,
drink
sis.
is whack. Hashtag your drink is whack.
You're nasty.
All right. That's going to do it for this edition of Channing and Friends, you guys. We want to thank Michelle Campbell for coming on the show today. She is wonderful. Remember, you can always catch us on Instagram TV and YouTube. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.